Welcome to part 2 of the end of my addiction story. I have decided to break up the stories, the story of my addiction into parts. So the first part is me basically just coming out and letting you guys know that I am a recovering addict. Part 2 was uploaded on my channel yesterday and will also be linked up here in the cards as well. Talking about basically the last 16 months of my addiction, what happened during that time. And I also let you guys know that I went from literally swallowing painkillers to, at the end, I was shooting heroin. And I'll let you guys know how it got to that. So that is linked again up in the card. Let's go ahead and get into the warning. So again, warning you guys, today I'm going to be talking about drug abuse and drug addiction. I'll also be discussing the drugs that I was using and was on. If any of these things, if drug use, drug addiction, drug detox, any of these things are harmful or hurtful for you in any way, please click out of today's video now. I will have other videos as always linked right up here in the cards that you are more than welcome to go watch. Viewer discretion is extremely advised. This video is intended of those of mature audience only. Again, viewer discretion advised. So we left off my mom calling me the night of Easter after I'd spent the day with them. I will again put the picture on the screen right now of the day that I went up there. I did go sick, and as soon as I left, I met up with my dealer and I got high. My mom calls me as I was in the bathroom, had just finished getting high, asked me if I wanted to get clean, and I said yes. I knew then that I wanted to make sure that I got super duper high before I went to my mom's, I guess to kind of put off detox, because I had friends and I knew all kinds of people who had went through detox, and I had been through detox before, but not with heroin. So I knew this was going to be a different ball game. I knew this time we were talking serious detox. So I hit up my dealer. He has heroin. I go, I get it. I get super duper high. I get super duper high when my sister comes and gets me, but I make sure that I don't have anything else with me and I throw everything away. And it was, even though I was high in the moment, I was so relieved to throw everything away. I threw what drugs I had left away. I threw everything. And literally when I went to my mom's, you guys, I had one duffel bag full of clothes. That's it. One duffel bag full of clothing. That's it. That's all I had. And one pair of shoes. So the first day at my mom's isn't bad. I'm still high. Literally, you guys, I was still high until the next day. I didn't start to detox until my second day at my mom's. So my first day off of drugs, that night I started to detox. I started to feel sick. My knees started to hurt. My feet, my toes, my hands started to hurt. And as it got closer and closer to everybody else going to bed, that's when other things started to happen. So at that point, my head's starting to hurt. It hurt to open my eyes. Literally, my whole body started to ache, but it wasn't anything compared to what I woke up to the next morning. So I was actually able to fall asleep. No melatonin, no nothing. I fell straight asleep. The next morning when I woke up, you guys, was absolute hell. I have no other way to put it, no other way to describe it. It was absolute hell. My body was in so much pain. And that's part of the reason why most heroin addicts, they literally do whatever they have to do to get high again. And that is why, my friends, because the detox and the sickness from heroin addiction is so horrifying. It was bad. It was really bad. I mean, I could not even get up to go to the bathroom. I tried midday to go take a shower. My mom was like, baby, just go take a shower. It'll make you feel better. I get in the water. I'm so dizzy. The water hitting my back literally hurt That's no exaggeration. It hurt my body to shower. It was absolutely terrible. Well, that night, my mom's like, well, I'm going to give you melatonin because you're probably going to have a hard time sleeping. My mom was reading all this stuff. I know she was a nervous wreck. You could tell she was a nervous wreck. She didn't know what to do. Nobody knew what to do because nobody else in my family had ever done this before. No, leave it up to me. So everybody's like, and I feel like this big because here I am, 26, 27 years old, and everybody's like running around like a chicken with its head cut off, trying to figure out how to help Morgan and how to make Morgan feel better. That night, she gives me 2 Aleve and she gives me 2 melatonin, and I do go to sleep. I don't know what that melatonin did. I don't know what happened. But the next morning, I woke up and I felt just worse. I felt worse. And I had read on this column of, it was like a forum for people going through heroin detox. And a friend of mine had told me about it. I'd called everybody the night before I went to my mom's and told them, I'm getting clean, I'm getting out of here, and everybody's like, oh, yeah, until you go through heroin detox. And one of the friends that I had at the time, she was like, well, read this forum. It helped me a lot when I got clean the last time, da-da-da-da. So I'd read this forum, and a lot of people were saying that melatonin can have different effects for different people. So for some people, it can put them straight to sleep, whereas other people, it can make them feel like even worse. So some people, it doesn't do that too. It did to me. I felt so freaking bad, you guys. Oh my gosh. And then on the forum, it had said something about like taking a shot of whiskey or something before you went to bed. I took a shot of whiskey. I felt like shit the next day. Felt horrible. So then at that point, I'm like, enough's enough. Enough is enough. I'm over it. I want to be done with this shit. So I literally locked myself in my mom's guest bedroom, and I was like, I'll see you all when I'm better. Like, I'm not your all's charity case no more. I want this shit over with. I was getting irritated of how bad it hurt and how bad my body ate. Like, and just how horrible I felt. And it was almost as if like, this is going to sound really weird, but aside from like the body aches, the chills, like things you've probably already heard, it's literally the flu times a billion. And that's no exaggeration. So if you're thought about doing it, or had a friend try to talk you into doing it, do not. It will be the worst decision of your freaking life. You guys, aside from all those other symptoms, my eyeballs, it was almost as if they were readjusting to me being sober. And I know that sounds weird. I could feel my pupils like redilate, and like it's so hard to explain. But I remember going out on the porch with my mom on the 4th day, okay, with me, no drugs. And she was like, holy shit, Morgan, your pupils are literally like the size of golf balls. I was like, Mom, I can feel my pupils move. And she was like, oh my God, this detox is taking forever. And my mom literally thought something was wrong with me because it was taking me so long to detox, she thought. But of course, detox from heroin can take days and days and days. Sometimes it even takes people months. I know one guy that I go to NA with who he said he didn't even start to even feel better for 4 months. And he was on heroin for like 22 years. So I go through detox. Things are fine. I've had no desire to use at all. I've stopped talking to everybody. I no longer have the same phone. I'm living with my sister Tiara, and things are great. I have started talking to Chris at this point. Now, for those of you who don't know, me and Chris went to high school together. I had a ginormous crush on him in high school, but he was taken by one of my best friends. Even one night, I had gotten drunk at this guy's house. I called my friend, like, I need you to come get me. Like, he's like trying to fill up on me and stuff. This is just a side note, so if you want to skip ahead, I'll have a time on the screen for you to skip ahead and get back to the story. Anyways, I'd called her. She was like, oh, I can't. I'm going home. And Chris literally drove to Corrington, which is about 15 to 20 minutes from where Halls is and where he was, and came and picked me up and took me home and waited with me at home until my parents got home. Literally the sweetest boy ever. So we start talking and he's like, I want to go on a date, da da da. We end up like meeting up at Walmart in Halls, which I was living with my sister Tiara at the time. And at the time she was living like in Seymour, which from Halls Walmart is forever away. But he met me at Halls Walmart, and he tells me to this day like how bad I looked. And it makes me so sad because he tells me all the time that I'm like the most beautiful woman ever, and he has loved me for so long, and he thinks I'm just the most gorgeous thing ever. Like, it blows my mind how he talks to me. But it makes me so sad and breaks my heart how bad I looked. He said that I just looked absolutely horrible, and I had been clean. So I would say about a couple weeks after that, he'd been begging me to go on a date, and I was like, yeah, let's go on a date. And he was about to go out of town to work. I wanted to see him before he go. He went, yada, yada. We go, we end up getting like a hotel room and staying the night with each other, and you know. He goes out of town to work, and I go back to my sister's, and the whole time he's gone, we talk every single day, like 3 times a day. I stay clean, everything else, and spontaneously, we decide that we want to live together when he gets back. We want to spend every waking moment together when he gets back, and we've been together ever since. Literally, that will be 4 years in April. So we have been together ever since April 26th of 2017. So I was sober almost a year when we got together. And it has just been, it was hard. It was an everyday struggle. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm not going to say that I crave it. And I don't ever really think about it, to be honest with you guys. I don't. I worked so hard to get here, and I constantly think about how hard it was to come off of it, that the thought, and also the thought of waking up every day and your very first goal is to get high, and it's like nonstop until you get high. So like my day, I would wake up at like 9 o'clock in the morning because I would be sick. So I wasn't one of those people that could sleep till 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Nay. If I was going to be sick the next morning, so I didn't have any dope, I was waking up around 8 or 9 o'clock. If I had money, which I normally did, I would just call my dealer and say, hey, get your ass over here. I need drugs now. But if not, if I didn't have any money, we were about to have to figure out how this was going to happen. What we going to have to do? You know, I would call my job and ask for money, which sometimes would work. I had a friend of the family who would let me clean their house. Fortunately enough, I never did sleep with anybody or rob anybody or anything like that. Thankfully, my addiction never got that far. I think had I been shooting up longer than I was, I'm pretty positive it would have gotten that far. But yeah, it was hard freaking work, and it's still a daily task. And because of COVID, it has been really hard to do NA. We've been doing like Zoom NAs and things like that. I think it is important to work the program, even if you don't do it in a rehab. If you work the program, I think it makes you respect your sobriety more. Even if you've already been clean for a substantial amount of time. I didn't start the program until I had already been clean, I think like 6 months. So it's never too late to start a program. If you feel in your sobriety that you're missing something, I think that working a program, a 12-step program, may be something to look into. It's not for everybody. I know plenty of people who have been sober for many, 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 many moons, and they've never worked a program. I don't have a sponsor. I did in the beginning, but the thing that I found was sponsors, which is sad because it made me lose my trust in another sponsor. But the thing I found was that you have that risk of that person using again, and that puts you at risk. So after my first sponsor literally left me on the side of the road to go get high, I decided that sponsors and that was just not for me, but I could work the program on my own. And that's what I did. But I do love my NA meetings. I have 2 that I enjoy. Also, if any of you, I know there's several of you who are already subscribed to my channel who are recovering addicts. If you ever need someone to talk to, I'm always there. I literally respond to every single one of you guys. Every single one of you guys I respond to. If you want it to be private, my social media is linked down below. I promise you, if you DM me, I will respond to you. I promise you, I will. And I will accept your friend's request on Facebook. I've accepted everybody. So I just want to let that be known as well. I'm here for you. I know what you're going through. I know that it seems, if you're not already in recovery, I know that it seems impossible. And like it's something that you may not be strong enough to do, but I promise you, you can. I promise you, you can. And if you need anybody to talk to, encouraging words or a boost of confidence, or if you're in recovery now and you just need somebody, I am there. We'll literally call each other. Like, we'll figure it out. I just want to put this out there. And also, if you're someone with a friend, a loved one, a spouse, if you have a sister, a brother, whatever, and they're going through addiction, I just want to say, you know, if it's causing you harm to be in this person's life, then I can't say stick around because I don't know your circumstances. But if there is a ability to be patient and just realize that until they are ready to be clean, I know until I was ready, there was no use. So many people begged me to get clean. I literally have looked myself in the mirror before and begged myself, but I knew I wasn't ready. I knew that I wanted to get high. If you know someone who is going through this, patience is a virtue. Love is pure. And if you just show them love, even if it has to be tough love, I promise you, you're not going to lose their respect, or, you know, they may be pissed off and, you know, say fuck you and whatever, but that's for now. But they're going to know deep down that you did that out of love. I know I did. When my mom wouldn't let me come live up there, I knew it was because my nephew was there and I couldn't be around my nephew like that. And I wouldn't have went anyways because I couldn't have got high there. So yeah, bottom line, if any of you all need someone, and even if you have a family member going through it and you need somebody to talk to, please, my social medias are down below. I will talk to you. If you need to talk on the phone, we can call each other. We'll figure it out, okay? But yeah, that is the end of my addiction story. It was hard. I can say that I probably didn't feel normal for about 8 months. Like normal, like I didn't wake up and I didn't think about, you know, okay, am I going to feel bad? I just woke up, went about my day, and it's went on since then. And I will say again that NA helped that. But yeah, I'm going to quit babbling on. The 4th part of my addiction is going to be the beginning and how it started. Now that I've told you the end, I may take a little bit of time off talking about addiction, but also I do just want to say this, that recovery is it is the hardest thing I've ever done. And I do want to share my story because I do want to be authentic. I do want to be real. And I want to be true. And in order to do that, I have to I'm going to tell this story. And again, like I've told you guys before, there are going to be some stories that I'm going to tell. Obviously, it was 6 years of my life that happened while I was in active addiction. And it is going to seem to you guys that, oh my God, this is so funny. But it's also important that you know where I ended, what happened in the middle, and how it began. And so, yeah. That is the timeline of how I'm going to tell the story. I love you guys so damn much. Thank you guys so much for your support, your love, your positivity, your vibes, your everything. I love every single one of you all so, so very much. And until next time, my loves, bye.